This is the project we're going to do today. I'm calling this one Wolf Mountain, and this one was stamped onto chrome coat glossy cardstock and colored with Memento inks and Copic markers. Okay, I'm going to stamp on a quarter sheet of chrome coat glossy cardstock. So I'll put it in my stamping platform, and I'm using a Misty Creative Corner so that I can offset the paper. And I will start by stamping in the mountain, the wolves, and the wolves. The big wolf and the little wolves. Okay, and next I will stamp the foreground cheese, and I will just put a mask by the hill on either side here. Now I'll stamp these small trees, and now I'll put in some of the filler grass. Alright, now I'm going to give this ink a really good chance to dry until I start coloring it. Okay, and I think I want to make these trees here that are next to these two little wolves a little taller, so I'm going to use this particular stamp. Okay, and I used some dies from Dies to Die Forest Cloud Edge border. And I've just cut some cardstock out as a stencil, and I'm going to use this to make some clouds in the sky. So I'm going to use some Memento Summer Sky. Okay, and now I'll use some Bahama Blue. Okay, I'll clean off my brush on a dry microfiber cloth, and I'm going to come back to Summer Sky. Okay, now I'm going to introduce some of this Summer Sky into the rest of the piece. Okay, now I'm going to start darkening the edges with the Bahama Blue. Okay, and then a little bit of Danube Blue, mostly in the corners and the edges. Okay, I cleaned off my brush, and then I'm just going to go back and forth. Okay, now I'll do some of the mountains and some of the ground with desert sand and rich cocoa. Okay, now rich cocoa. And I'm going to use my smaller round-headed brush. And I'll also use my long skinny brush. This is the smallest of the long skinny brushes. Okay, for the grassy ground, I'm going to use New Sprout, bamboo leaves, and cottage ivy. And we will start with the New Sprout. Okay, and next we will do bamboo leaves, and I'll use my middle long skinny brush for this. Okay, now we'll go with cottage ivy. Okay, now for the trees, I'm going to use some northern pine. Okay, for this wolf in the foreground, I'm going to use some alcohol markers, my Copic markers E31, E34, and E37. And I will start with the E31. And I'm going to take a paper towel and just kind of buff where I have colored. Okay, and I'm going to take these same alcohol markers and I'm going to add some definition up here into the mountain area. And I want to make the wolf a little darker, so I'm going to add some more of the E34. Okay, and I also want to do the tree trunks, so I'll use the same E37. Okay, I'm going to use a white Jelly Roll 08 to add some highlights. Okay, I want to make these wolves in the back a little darker, as well as this bluff in the front. So I have placed this back in my stamp positioner. I'm going to take the mountain off because I don't need it anymore. But I'll just use my Memento Tuxedo Black to re-ink these two wolves in the background. Okay, and I'll continue to add some more white highlights with the gel pen. Okay, for the wolf, I think I'm gonna use my colorless blender to remove a lot of this color. I think a wolf needs to be more gray, so I want to remove a lot of this color, and then we will recolor it gray. Okay, and we're going to put some warm gray onto it. Okay, it's a little bit better. I should have really looked up a wolf before I started coloring it. I didn't realize they were gray. And so this is an unusual wolf in that it has some beige undertones. And so I'm going to continue with my white gel pen here. All right, now I'm going to stamp this grass into the foreground. I'm going to use my Memento Tuxedo Black ink for this. And I will start by masking off the hill and putting some in on the opposite side of the hill. Now stamping the front of the hill. And I think I'll also put some in some of these cracks, and I'll just ink up the bottom part of the stamp so that it doesn't go up very far. And then just stamp. Okay, now I'm going to sign and date it. Okay, I'm going to take it outside now and spray it with some Krylon UV resistant clear acrylic coating in order to protect it. When I'm finished, we'll be back. And here is the result after it's been sprayed. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!